fifth set of the day will be played on Belshir Vestige, spawning up in the top left-hand position as the blue Terran from STX Soul. His name is Innovation.
His opponent trying to finish STX Soul with a score of 4-1. Playing for KT Rolster, his name is Flash, spawning as red Terran on the bottom right position of Belshir Vestige.
So we have Innovation, the Invincible, versus Flash, the God, the ultimate weapon. Should be a pretty sick match here. I'm very curious to see how it's going to pan out here. Flash known for going mech most of the time in his TvT. Innovation kind of going both ways. He hasn't really figured out exactly what he likes to do, but we did see mostly bio from him with some pretty cool drop play against Flash when they played.
And we might even see some cheeses mixed in between these two players, because do remember, in the round of 16, in the Code S group, they were trying to, cheese their opponent, trying to do really heavy mind games against each other. Now, in Starcraft 1, Flash does lead 4-2, but in Starcraft 2, they are tied at 4-4 with Innovation going 2-1 against Flash.
In the WCS round of 16, of course.
May 2nd.
Yep, on May 2nd. So that was a pretty recent game for these guys. Wasn't too far long ago, only, maybe like about a week and a half or so. You have an SCV moving out on the map here. I'm almost positive this is going to look for some type of proxy play. He may end up actually just scouting out his opponent here. Flash going to go ahead, get that refinery up around the same time as Innovation. Identical builds at this point, though, except for the fact that Flash has not chosen the scout yet.
That also means that he's going to have a little more mineral stockpiled back at his main base, if you try to compare those little things here and there.
Those little things can make a difference. Even if it's only one SCV binding, 5 more minutes every few seconds here. And SCV, it will see the barracks. It will know that there's no proxy shenanigans going on, unless he went for something crazy, but that's really not possible in this situation due to the second supply depot there. The Marine will send away that scouting SCV as well. No command centers up yet from each player. We could see some aggressive play here.
Well, the gas didn't go around 13, it went more around like 14, 15, so we're not going to see too much heavy aggression. Instead, they're just, both players are constantly making Marines, and as soon as they get the 100 gas, I expect both players to go for the factory.
Well, they're not going for the Reapers, so that's pretty much the only logical follow-up here.
Well, Flash is starting first with the command center.
He's going for the command center. We'll probably follow that up with the factory, though.
And let's see what Innovation is doing the exact same thing. Both players going for the reactor first. Seems like they want to get as many Marines out in the beginning of the game. Behind this, Flash is getting a factory, and same for Innovation. Though standard opening, I have to say, not going for the Reaper is, sometimes players only try to go for as many Marines as possible, around 3 or 4 before getting the reactor down. Other players, they like to mix in some Reapers and then try to go inside their opponent's base, trying to scout around, see if they can get like 1 or 2 SCVs before the Reaper goes out of the base.
Now, we have seen Innovation do a lot of really cool Reaper timings against other Terrans before. He pretty much just mauled alive with pretty much 2 Reapers and won the game. He did win a game against Flash as well, and WCS with Reapers as well.
2 racks. Yep.
I was just going to point out the starport going down, as well as the factory switching off over here, so we're going to see some Hellions come out from both sides of the Terran player. Everything is pretty much mirrored at this point.
Well, if it's mirrored, we know what it means. It's going to be a micro battle between these two players and who has a better game sense when they transition into the third command center. Now, the difference is that Innovation does have the command center down at the natural, and Flash does have the command center at the ramp right now, so he needs to lift that up as soon as the orbital finishes and start mining from the natural base.
And Flash putting down a scan here. He's going to see what his opponent's up to, realizing that everything same. Nothing different going on here. Widow Mines coming out now from our STX Soul player. Scan going down as well. Hey guys, it's a mirror matchup. Sometimes they also mirror the builds. I know it's crazy, but it can happen.
It actually happens a lot more than what we see on the screen, because if you play on ladder, you're like, oh hey, it's the exact same build. Except in Pro League, they like to mix up builds here and there. That's the reason why you see some variety of builds between the two players. And Flash, look at this. He made a medevac right away, and now getting a Viking against defense.
Yeah, I noticed that Flash, he likes to get the medevac out a little bit faster than his opponent here. We were getting actually, never mind. Both players are continuing the identical build here. The biggest difference, though, is the 2 Widow Mines in the medevac from our STX player. He's going to be sending that over to his opponent's base. He may try to drop a Widow Mine in each mineral line. It's possible. Been something a little bit more common recently. It's going to come down to defense here. We have, looks like the Viking in the, it's in position for Flash here. Is it in position for Innovation, though? He's got a lot of units there.
He's got a lot of units, but remember, those are upgraded Marines, and both players dropping units inside their opponent's base.
So 1 Widow Mine being picked up here. It's going to go to the natural. These Marines going to do a good amount of damage, actually. The medevac is taken out here.
The Widow Mine, though. Widow Mine is not going to get taken out!
Oh, no, this is a huge mistake from Flash. Actually, that is lucky. He almost lost a lot of units here at the same time. Hellions and the main base roasting up a lot of SCVs from Flash. He is just taking about a 10 supply lead. We're seeing down the 15 SCVs, the 35. Flash in the lead here, but he does not have control over his main command center. Bringing a tank and Marines up, he will be able to stabilize after this point. The SCV count, though, is the biggest thing to note here. 38 to 17 with Flash in the lead.
Yeah, all Flash has to do is take out the Widow Mine with more SCVs than his opponent and same tank count. Flash, he got the better trade in this battle, and look at this, using the splash damage to take out the Widow Mine. Really smart play. Those little senses from Brood War are coming back in this matchup.
They can certainly help out a lot. They're doing things like that. Innovation trying to repeat some of his success that he had against Tasia on this map. He's moving in with a lot of units, wanting to apply pressure, but this time around, it's not going to work. Even Flash pulling a lot of SCVs, just kind of telling Innovation, hey man, don't even think about it.
Well,
I'm ready to sacrifice.
I have to say, Flash panicked a little bit more than usual. I think it was saying, well, here's a counter all-in, so I have to defend using all of my SCVs, but that wasn't the case. Flash is well defended right now.
He's looking pretty solid here. The air battle, though, does go to our STX player, Innovation, right now. He can use that Viking as a spotter. We have no Vikings out for Flash right now, but there's 3 for Innovation.
And now behind this Flash, he's going to transition into the regular bio tank. Innovation, his #1 goal right now is to replenish SCVs as fast as possible. He's risking it right now by going for the 3rd command center. If Flash does scout it, then he could push out and win the game, but if he doesn't put a scan on the 3rd command center, it's going to pay off in the long run.
Still, though, the SCV advantage quite large for Flash here. And he's getting a 3rd command center of his own. So
yeah.
I'm just going to try, you know what, he's doing the classic, if you're ahead, get more ahead.
Yes.
No reason to try to end the game and risk it all when you could potentially fail with your attack and then you're behind or just lose the game straight up here. I like that Innovation is sending his Vikings around the map, wanting to maintain that map control, using the Vikings, and sniping off one of Flash's Vikings there. You know, he's just doing the best he can.
Might even go for a harassment inside the main base. Actually, the medevac is out of position, needs to boost out of there.
Gets lucky. That is one lucky medevac. One more hit, it would have gone down.
And Innovation definitely could have gone for that. Well, seems like the Vikings are back inside the main base.
And they're kind of, you know, sharking around here, trying to find something to snipe off. But they will be deflected by these Marines here. Wouldn't be surprised, actually, if we saw Flash go ahead and put up a turret or 2 to kind of deter them from doing too much. But they won't be able to be annoying for much longer.
And here's the biggest difference between the two players. You might see the same number of units without the SCV count, but because Innovation has less economy, his upgrades are slower than his opponents.
They're going to be pretty far behind, actually, and if you're 1 upgrade over your opponent, sometimes we've seen Terran players just gun and go for the attack here. We're seeing the stim and combat shields start for Innovation here, but no sight of the 1-1.
No engineering bay.
No engineering base, and Flash, he's got units here ready for this drop as long as he puts that tank in proper positioning. The Marines, though, they may end up doing a good amount of damage here, actually sniping off a lot of those Marines. Lifting off, it's going to boost into that natural. Does Flash have anything ready in that position? Does not look like it.
He doesn't have anything at the natural, so it seems like he's going to pull back all of his units back to the natural to defend against this. However, he does have the siege tank in position, and the medevac has to get out of there.
Medevac's going to go to the 3rd base. So there's Marines and tanks here, though. This will not do damage. Realizing that, looks like our STX player just going to put that medevac, park it in between the natural and third base. Alright, interestingly enough, no Vikings at all from Flash here. I would like him to make at least one to kind of deal with that medevac in the middle, kind of help deter drop play from happening. Innovation securing his third around the same time as his opponent. Flash still has a supply lead here, 126 to 111.
And once a +1/+1 hits, I have a feeling Flashy could start moving around the map and pressure his opponent. He's playing a little bit too passive right now, but he doesn't know the situation that he's in. I have a feeling, because he doesn't know that his opponent's 1-1 is delayed. He doesn't know that he has more siege tanks and marines in this position.
He's backing out there with that medevac, doesn't want to try to do any damage there, but still, I mean, it just looks like Innovation wants to be aggressive. He can't really be aggressive at this point, though. He's moving across the map a little bit and then moving back.
One thing great by Innovation right now is that he knows that he has worse army composition than his opponent. That's why he's going like, well, I'm looking strong right now. This is what I want to show you. That's the reason why you shouldn't push out on the map, Flash, because I have a really strong army. In reality, it's just mind games. And Innovation's doing a really nice job keeping Flash inside his main base.
Flash still keeping that supply lead, though, over his opponent here. So that is what I would expect from him. We have the 2-2 on the way for Flash as well. His Marine count is getting pretty high right now. He also has a supply lead in the tanks, 9-6. 45 Marines to 36 Marines. Medevac count similar right now, 5-5. The 2 Viking advantage is pretty nice for Innovation. That'll help him stop any type of team drops, which is what we could see happening here. 3 Marines moving into that third base. Going to try to do a little bit of damage here. These Vikings, though, they're going to be able to potentially do a lot of damage if these Marines don't stop them. The Vikings, they're going to go ahead and snipe down one of these medevacs here, but a lot of units moving in here. Another medevac going down. We have some decent defense here from Innovation, but the siege tanks are moving up here. Innovation, though, manages to defend this. Still behind in supply, but it's starting to really even the gap.
I don't know why actually Flash pushed forward, because one of the medevacs, a siege tank got taken out, and if you look at the siege tank count now, Innovation has the lead, so he just gave away all those siege tanks for free, and now Innovation, you know, before he was faking that he was strong. Now he is actually stronger than his opponent and can actually get a nice siege line in the middle of the map, denying Flash from pushing up.
Flash is getting a second factory at this point. His Marine production actually still a little bit higher than Innovation. He's also grabbing that, I think Innovation, though, grabbing the +1 mech attack upgrade is going to make those tanks have a more powerful punch to them. And Flash trying to move around the map a little bit more. I would love to see Flash go for some drops, try to do economic and damage. We're not seeing as much multitasking from him as we're used to today. So both players just trying to vie for some control here around the center of the map, setting up those siege tank lines. Flash behind by 2 tanks right now, but way ahead in the Marine count. It's actually 73 to 35 Marines here. That's a pretty ridiculous advantage. Even though Flash's drop didn't do a lot of damage, it did kill off some SCVs there, which slowed the production of his opponent, allowing him to grab a much greater lead later on in the game. A 185 to 166 supplies here.
And do remember, Flash still has better upgrade than his opponent. His +2/+2 already finished, while Innovation's +2/+2 is only halfway done.
And we're seeing that +3 attack start for Flash here. Should see that armor going up. Just as I say that, the armor for +3 goes up here, and we're seeing a 4th command center from Innovation. Tank line set up here. This is actually really bad for Innovation. The Marines pressing forward, sniping 2 tanks, loses nothing. At the same time, we're having a huge Marine attack that's going to potentially go into that third base. Flash taking a pretty surprising lead right now, and if he has good engagements, this is a mistake though from Flash, losing 3 tanks, equalizing it out a little bit more here.
But Flash having the excess number of Marines, he's going to go for the third base. All of those Marines do get taken out, but if Flash micros, those tanks are gone, and the third base is under fire.
Innovation does not have an answer to these Marines currently here. The SCV is forced to run away. The Marines now focus firing down that command center. It's getting very low on health. Can the SCV save it? No, they can't. The 3rd command center goes down. Flash is saying, Innovation, you may be good, but I am a better Terran versus Terran player when it comes to the Marine tank wars.
And this is getting worse and worse for Innovation. He lost the 3rd command center. He does have an extra command center on the bottom, but just the fact that he lost one command center, which means one less meal per cycle, he has less Marines, worse upgrades than his opponent, and the siege tank count is so similar between the two players that Flash, he is far ahead in the game. It's not dramatic at this point. Flash Innovation can still try to come back into the game, but it's a really hard situation for Innovation to be in right now.
He's got to make something crazy happen here.
Yes.
He's low on the tank count. Flash going for a sandwich here. Where are the siege tanks? The Marines sniping down a lot of units over here. Innovation caught out of control. He's down over 50 supply, almost 60 at this point. He can't deal with this maxed out Terran army. Flash may just go in here and try to push in for the win.
That's a lot of Marines, a lot of siege tanks in the back, but all Flash has to do is micro those Marines, move forward, and all those siege tanks are gone.
The siege tanks go, and with that, the rest of Innovation's army, I think this may be the killing blow for Innovation at this point. He doesn't have a third base really running up compared to Flash. The control from Flash this game has been very, very solid, and is 3-3 going to finish up here?
That's going to be devastating for Innovation, as he's not even started his +3/+3 because he doesn't have the economy to do so.
Third base under fire once again. That command center falls, and these tanks over here, that's pretty much all that's left to Innovation's name. Flash about to max out once again to a paltry force of 111. GG is called. Flash takes the 5th game against Innovation, wins against STX Soul, and ends the match.